Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's Raw review and opinions video. So I've already given my thoughts over on the breakdown, and as many of you know, this was a show that I personally struggled with. I scored it 5 at best. I think it was one of my least favorite shows of the year because personally I just found that a lot of stuff was very average, was very skippable, and then there were actively a couple of things that really dragged my score down. There really isn't much here, even though I can see an attempt for, trying a few things. There wasn't really much here that actually dragged my score up, improved my score. I think they have tried to actually invest a little bit in the vision, and I think we saw that with the backstage segment and promo in ring, and they're trying to add in Logan, and they're trying to do a little bit more kind of investment into that group. It is a little bit too little, too late. And obviously the bigger problem for me is that Logan is all over this now, which is not something that I personally care about. And then, as well as that, we also tried to do an OMG moment at the end. And that OMG moment is an OMG moment we've seen before, which I thought was done better in the past. And so, again, I can see some effort there. We've clearly made a big move with Jay, which I think is good. We opened up with a decent Gunther promo, and none of the matches were horrifically bad, although you lot were really down on that main event. I think if you're an LA Knight fan, you're going to be struggling because, he got murked. I do think ultimately that's going to be okay, though. Kind of keeps him in that main event picture because he'll come back and he'll want revenge. So I think he'll have a couple of weeks away. But, I expect him to come back and then be around the vision. So, 5 for me. I couldn't find things to pick that score up. I was kind of going down and there was nothing to lift the plane up, if you will. So let's go over, shall we, into your comments and your thoughts. Let's see if you viewed this a little bit more favorably than me. So Uncle Revel said, the show was moving along okay, nothing special, which is fine. They can't all be amazing. Then that last segment happened and I just couldn't wait to turn it off. It was messy, sloppy, and it seemed quite amateur. I can't stand Bron Breakker. I don't think WWE will ever sell me on him. So Uncle Revel said 5.5. Okay. Al Patata said the masked man got chased away by security but came back later. There aren't 2 masked guys, or it's bad security, or the show just doesn't make sense, says Al Patata. Plum Girl said, Daze, what can I say? Well, give me a minute. Not much to say. I love the Usos being back together. So if that helps with a heel turn for Jay, then I'm down. In the moment, I'm feeling bad about LA Knight, so I'm going to go 5. See you later. See you later, buds. Mitchell said, a lot of segments didn't make sense to me. We're getting AJ and Dragon Lee versus Leon and Javon. That could be 8 Club. But the ending segment made no sense. I'm going to go 575, 625, says Mitchell. Wild Child Billy, shout out to you, said, I've just watched some clips. I love my GOAT beside Kota. AJ Styles tag match was phenomenal. And keep it short and sweet. LA had better win the Rumble, or maybe Drew, because they both deserve better, said Wild Child Billy. Taker 1990 said, Dave, shout out to you. I think Raw was about a 5. I think WWE have buried LA Knight, just like Cross. Iyo Kairi was great, along with Lyra Roxy. Other than that, Raw was flat. We did see Rio without the mask. Gunther saying that he's going to make Cena quit. Their match should be an I quit match. Thoughts? The only problem with that is that if Gunther's going to win, he would make John quit, and I don't think people want to see John quit. I don't think Cena's winning. So that would mean that if we do an I quit match, John would have to quit. And I don't think that's what people want. I think what people are looking for is Cena passing out. That's the one that people keep mentioning. And I think that's probably the right way forward. Have Cena pass out and not quit, basically. They've made a big deal out of it now. The way that he was saying about, I'm going to, bully you, and I'm going to make you do what you said you'd never do, and that is never give up, I'm going to make you give up. There's just no way that I think Cena can give up now. It would be a real downer. It's going to be a downer for many people, him losing anyway. But to really rub that salt in the wound, you don't really need to be doing that. So I wouldn't do it for that reason. Brady said the final hour was very underwhelming. It was very boring. It was bland and it was repetitive. But on the other hand, the women's tag division is up and staying up, which is fantastic. Real John said, I thought tonight's Raw was a little bit random in a few places. It honestly felt like none of the matches really meant anything. Lyra Roxanne was good, but it didn't do anything for me because I knew with Liv at ringside there would be interference. LA Logan is a no, and so 5.5. Great One said, LA Knight getting ricocheted. Felt like Triple H giving LA Knight IWC fans a big FU. I actually left this Raw feeling sad, not just frustrated and apathetic for boring shows. Great One, thank you. Junkwax Obsessed said it was kind of boring. I kind of just listened to the show more than watched, so I'm going to go 5.5. Tyler said, how ironic and amazing would it be if Uncle Howdy and the Wyatts tried to work with LA Knight? We did get a glitch. I understand it's just a wild idea. It's just a thought. I think if they were free right now, I could maybe, do something with that. And certainly if the glitch had something more to it. I mean, the static actually felt like a technical thing. I mean, there was nothing in the glitch or anything like that. There was only the one moment as well. I think if they were free, then maybe I'd be a bit more optimistic. But obviously they've literally just started a feud with the MFTs. And that doesn't feel like something that's going to end anytime soon. So I like the idea. I agree. I don't think it's going that way. Blizzard 6 said, I don't care for it. Jay goes back to the tag division. The mask guy, Austin Theory, screws LA Knight. WWE screws LA Knight. Seth, no, it's Seth. No, it's not. Why would he help the guys that screwed him? It's almost like an AI show. Well, I don't think it is Seth, to be honest. I think they're trying to make you think it's Seth. But I think when the reveal comes, it's not going to be Seth. Ryder said, Daze, I don't know about you, but it feels like at times the wrestlers are just spinning the wheels and going through the motions. I just don't see that fire and hunger in some of them. The laziness of creative might be spreading on the talent, adapting to the mentality of if they don't care, then I don't care. Whoa, interesting. Elite Pro Wrestling Forum said it was a great Gunther promo, quick and to the point. Iyo Kairi was good. The Masked Man strikes again. Fun tag title and aftermath. Rest was okay. Crazy main event, so 6.25, 6.5. Shout out to you, Daze. Elite Pro Wrestling Forum, thank you. Jesse says 5. Gunther promo was okay. I don't think John will tap out. I mean, enjoyed Viking Raiders against AJ Dragon Lee. They disrespected Nikki. Raquel, Stephanie sounds like a great match. Liv won't be content in just being in a tag team instead of being the main champion. Bron is finding his way. He's doing fine, says Jesse. Wrestling Void said there's lots to say about Raw, but I'll keep it quick. The Gunther promo was okay. Iyo Kairi was fine. War Raiders, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, fun. Lyra, Roxanne was okay. LA Knight versus Logan was shiz. Backstage stuff was solid. So I'm going to go 5. Appreciate it and see you tomorrow for the member stream. See you then, buds. John Elite said, I love that the NXT talent was ringside tonight. The Masked Man appeared twice. Surprised Dragon Lee was able to pick up Ivar, even though it didn't look smooth. Jay back in the tag division. It's like 2019 Kofi all over again after he lost the title. Awesome promo from Bron, says John. Jeff said, you can tell that the show was written last minute because it was so underwhelming. Not their best show leading up to Saturday night's main event. Uncle Howdy is finally back, said Raw was okay tonight. It was great seeing the NXT superstars. Glad Iyo Sky won. Raquel Rodriguez, Stephanie incoming. I think Judgment Day will end. LA Knight might be written off TV. Can they reveal the mask guy already? Glad that the Usos are back. See you tomorrow. Ryder said 575 days. I was bored. It's been a long time since I can recall actually being glued to my seat and being thoroughly entertained by what I'm watching with weekly main roster. I feel nothing. WWE leans on just matches and promos, but even those are now consistently below average. I think there was a couple of moments, like I said, where they actually tried to give us something else this week. It's just a shame that it was a backstage segment involving Logan Paul and Heyman and investment in Logan's career. And then, of course, the tsunami on the car, which also had Logan involved, but was a segment we've seen done before and better, rather than something new and fresh and interesting. So I think they did try to give us a couple of things that were not just promo and matches this week. So if we want to give them some flowers, we can say, well, thanks for trying. But for me, it just didn't land. Daryl said, Raw gets my lowest rating of the year. I'm going 4.75. Cena was just a letdown. There was no promo between Cody or Ober, and that was a letdown. At this point, unless it's Jericho, I just don't care about the Masked Man. I'm just disappointed with today's show. See you for NXT tomorrow, which, like usual, is going to be the best show, says Daryl. Robbie said it's the worst Raw of the year, probably. I like seeing Iyo and Kairi. The prolonged JD split tease is exhausting. Usos are back together where they belong. The segment with LA Knight is only going to further the online narrative that people already have. Yes, I'm glad for Leon. I'm giving this a generous 1.5. Maddie said 4. Was not really a big fan of this one. Been sick for about a week and that didn't help my rating. Well, I hope you make a speedy recovery soon, my friend. Chris said, Daze, well, nothing really to write home about, so 5.5. None of the matches meant anything beside the tag title match. Glad I'm not an LA Knight fan. I guess at least they don't need to think he's being buried. At least they can come back to get revenge, or maybe not. I think he will get revenge. I really do think this is going to be okay for LA Knight. I don't think he is done, right? I don't think he's leaving the company. I think that, he's involved in a feud with the biggest group on Raw, and that's not a bad place to find yourself. Yes, he's been murked. He's been tsunamied on top of a car, but he's going to come back from that, right? And I think he will get revenge. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's lots of people that want LA Knight to get more opportunity than what he's been getting. And so, people kind of are in a very frustrated place with LA Knight anyway. So doing this to him now, it might lead somewhere good, but it's going to sting. And I think we're seeing a lot of that in the show scores. A wrestling fan said, it was a very confusing show. I was waiting for something to happen, but that thing just never happened, said wrestling fan. Nico said, I just watched highlights. I missed the stream, but the show was lacking. We need Punk back in the mix as soon as possible. And damn, I feel bad for LA Knight. I don't know, Days. Some fun spots, but it's like a 4 for me. Mr. Unfamiliar said Jay got demoted, which brought the show from a 2 to a 5. Matthew said, I thought Raw was a very good show, and I would give Liv credit where credit is due. She will face, after Judgment Day kick her out, she'll be a face. As for the mystery attacker, I think it will be Y2J. I had a thought that he is really the head of the vision. 9 out of 10, says Matthew. Mark said it's disappointing. CM Punk is badly missed. The spontaneity and excitement just isn't there at the moment. Since the Bloodline story ended, we haven't had anything even a quarter as good as that was, and it's concerning. My final score for tonight is 3 out of 10. Uncle Howdy Dread said, I see inside Jay Vision. The greatest tag team of all will fall. Jimmy is using you to get what he wants because Jimmy didn't have that singles run or was a singles champion. Pull the trigger, Jay. Turn your back on the family. Take the Ula Fala from Roman and become the world heavyweight champion. Well, could that be the story? Maybe. The Rickster said, Days, I agree. It was a shit show. But I don't think it was as bad as some. I don't like Logan, but I'm able to separate personal feelings from performance ability. As for Maxine and Natty, I think it works. Natty is training her to become a beast. Well, I mean, the only thing I could say is if we had these promos before Maxine won the Intercontinental, I would maybe be more on board. But to give them to me after she's already become the Intercontinental Champion it's too late. You've put the belt on her and now you're trying to justify it. So you've done something which I didn't like and now you're trying to go, no, it's okay because actually she's really good. Here's some stuff we should have showed you before that, sorry, we didn't show you. But actually, no, she's really good. Like the horse has already bolted. I've already made my mind up. I didn't like you putting the belt on her, and now you're trying to go, no, believe us, it's really, really good. You've done this the wrong way round. So yeah, I understand that Natty is trying to make Maxine a beast, but you should have been showing me this all year. We should have been getting this all year. And actually, we should have been building Maxine, and then we build to her against Becky. And, you know, she becomes the champion. And, you know, that I would have been a lot more on board if we'd have done that. I would have felt like part of the journey. I would have felt like I was watching her being built. But this is just flipping completely backwards, in my opinion. James said it was all right. It was mostly bland. Very disappointed at what they're doing with LA Knight. Leo, I don't think we'll get a chance to read all this, to be honest, bud, because we've got quite a few comments to get to. Let's see if we can just skim read. I think overall, the weekly shows are great, or at least decent. So when Raw or a SmackDown is a bit of a stinker, it really stands out. Okay. I like Usos back together. I like Jay's singles run when it started, but it did become stale. Tag division, I think it's good for Jimmy as Jay's singles push. He has kind of fallen. Yes, he did. So yeah, it is going to be good for Jimmy to have Jay back. I also feel they're waiting to save the Masked Man reveal until January. That makes sense. However, one thing that makes me question that are the reports that Bron wins the Rumble and the reports that he's going to face CM Punk at Mania. If that's happening, then it means that we'll have to lose in January. And how will the Masked Man be revealed whilst still having CM Punk win? As if he reveals himself during the match and then CM Punk wins anyway, then it will kind of feel like it wasn't worth it. I understand your point. The final thing I have to say is it's not really related to the show, but more Saturday night's main event. Okay. John Cena said it was going to be main roster against NXT to showcase them. Yes. But there are 4 matches, with one of them being Cena's. Yes. So there's only 4 NXT superstars being showcased. Yeah, Sol, Oba, Javon, Leon, who's not even NXT. So far, the casual fans who only watch Raw and SmackDown, when there's under NXT talent like Kendall Gray or Ethan Page, they'll never have seen them. Yeah, I don't think that's... I get your point, but I think we're maybe asking for a bit too much. I mean, originally, Saturday night's main event was just going to be a tribute to John. There was going to be 0 NXT talent on. So you can look at it as they're only showcasing Sol, Oba, Javon, and Leon, right? You can go, oh, they're only showcasing 4 developmental talents. Why aren't they showcasing 20, right? Or you can look at it as it was going to be 0. And so now they're going to showcase 4. The more people that you put on, the less time those people are going to have. So you can put on a women's match, an 8-woman women's match, but, you know, that means that everyone's just going to get a few moments. Can you make much of an impression with such limited time? Or is it better to go, okay, these are the ones we really want to showcase. Let's give them a proper run out. Let's give them a proper singles match. Let's show people what they can really do. And hopefully they make such a good impression that people want to watch more of them. So they tune into Tuesday, where they will then find the rest of NXT. So it's, you know, there's not a right or wrong. I get the impression that you would have booked it different, where you would have had 20 people, 10 people, and you would have given them a little bit of time and just hope that that would be enough for someone to want to then tune into NXT. I think the way WWE have gone, if they've gone, right, let's take 4 of the best. Let's, you know, give them a real good run out, proper matches where there's, you know, drama, twists, turns, you know, you can really invest, and then hopefully people enjoy that, and then they decide to tune in on Tuesday. So it's just a difference really of how you want to approach it and how you want to go about it. So I don't mind it, honestly. I don't mind it. I don't mind them going that way and doing it that way. Leon was a surprise, I agree. I think if you're going to showcase people from NXT, then yeah, it probably makes sense it be in NXT stars. So Leon Slater, who's signed with TNA, that is a surprise. But it's great for TNA. It's great for Leon. And he is an amazing talent. And he will, you know, really grab attention. I've no doubt about that. So, yeah, that's, you know, where we are. Wrestling fan since day one said, Daze the masked man. Does he look different? He looks skinnier than the first one. I know you're trying to get everyone to comment in the chat, or you can't get to everyone to comment in the chat. But one message I wanted to say, 100% Bronson and Paul, they're going to turn on Logan and recruit that masked man. Okay. Masked man, I just don't interact with, really. I'm surprised how much of a conversation it is, because reports are, we know, and it came from Fightful Select as well, really good source, as to who that masked person is. So I feel like we know who it is. I don't really have much mystery, much, like, do you know what I mean? The speculation and all of that, I just don't really engage with, because I really think we know where this is going, and I think we know who it's going to be. The bigger question is, when is he going to get revealed to me? So I don't think they've teased two masked people or anything like that. I don't think there was a difference. You know, was he a bit skinnier? Maybe. It's so hard to tell. I mean, he's completely covered. I think it's the same person. I think there's only one reveal coming. I could be wrong on that, though. So, I mean, you might have called it if it does turn out to be two reveals. But I just think it's going the way we think it's going. The only thing I don't know is when we get that reveal. Jay said it was an amazing ending. Overall, a 6. Eli Drake to All is All Elite. Hannah said show score 6.5. Crowd was a 7. Gunther promo an 8. Stephanie promo an 8. The tag match 7. Match of the night. I agree with that. Lyra Roxanne 6. Vision segment was Iyo Kairi 6.5. Bailey Lyra segment was fire. Bailey Lyra segment. I think that was during commercial break, wasn't it? Is that the kind of like little interview thing? Iyo Kairi 6.5. Night Paul 5. Bronze promo was good. Who the hell is the mask guy? It seems different to the War Games one. See you for SmackDown. Brendan, thank you. Dark Girl, not thrilled. WWE Ethan said, I've not been watching the weekly shows for a while. I watched this episode and I was wondering if I made the right choice. I love to see Roxanne win. I am a massive fan of her. Not sure why Raquel is going for the World Championship instead of Liv. Well, Liv was surprised by that as well, to be honest. Logan, LA was just pointless. Show score a 6, said WWE Ethan. Finley said it was poopy. Broken Filters said Sleepy Gunther team in with Knight on Saturday. Let Edge or Jericho take on Cena. Kiki says 5 out of 8. Raymond said Raw was good. Matches and segments were good. Overall, Raw was pretty decent. I'm going 6.25, close to 7. Wouldn't that be 6.75 then? But 6.25 is not close to 7. It's close to 6. I think, unless you've just put the wrong numbers. I think you mean 6.75 if you're saying it's close to 7. Shout out to you. See you to NXT. See you for NXT. Right, Kanon said 6.5. Rio is interesting, but in terms of performance, Kabuki is better. Mystery Guy from the Shadow is supposed to be Viper, but I'm not sure. I don't think it is supposed to be the Viper, but so 6. Usos reunite is better, so 6.5. Overall, it felt a little inadequate, says Kanon. How do you pronounce that? Chio said, I felt I should have stopped watching and just wait for the YouTube clips. If I wasn't listening to you, that's what I would have done. I mean, to be honest, as someone that does live streams, this is concerning. You know, it's not in my best interest to have so many people saying, I'm just going to stop watching now. I'm just going to check the YouTube clips, you know. That's not great. That's not great for the watch along. That's not great for the channel or anything. So I very much appreciate people that joined us, but I just can't lie. There's no point in me lying. If I'm going to tell you something is good, I would like for you to believe that I am telling the truth. And the only way that that is going to be true is if when there is a show that is bad, I tell you it is bad. And, you know, I've been very clear. I think this was one of the episodes I really struggled most with in 2025. Right, Jay said, I just wasn't all that interested in tonight, and the ending was just empty. I'm giving it a 5. LA Knight fan, I bet you struggled, but said, well, that ending was really interesting. John and Ria Meet said, I'm going to give it 6.5. I was happy with Rio, and Iyo was legendary in the ring. Brandon said, like always, the women carried. Nate said, hashtag we want LA Knight, which I did see trending momentarily. Thomas said, Nikki and LA Knight getting shafted again week after week after week for what feels like 26 years. It's just a repetitive ass show. There we go. So it seems like my frustration was not isolated. So look, the best thing I can say is we move on. Yeah, I think that at the moment we are in a bit of a period where we are just kind of getting through to the end of the year. We are hobbling our way to the end of the year. We are doing a few things. Jay going into the tag division is a development. Raquel going after Stephanie is a development. Logan being more involved in the vision is a development. So, you know, there are developments, but just nothing seismic. Nothing that you couldn't get from just a couple of YouTube highlight videos, you know. This was not an episode you needed to watch. And there we go. I don't know about you, but I will be very pleased to see the back of 2025. And we've only got a few more weeks to go, so they can't come quick enough. I just hope that 2026 is going to be that relaunch, is going to be that rebirth, is going to be that reset, that refresh that we're hoping for. And, you know, we can really get onto some really good stuff. So there we go. Right. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Really do appreciate it. And see you again next time. Bye for now.